Pachycephalosaurus. To some raptors, an easy meal, but to others, an absolute menace to deal with. While it is not that fast, it's an easy dinosaur to avoid, so fighting one is always gonna be your own choice. Although, if you do opt for it, what are the things you should know? What is the best method to take it down? Today, we're gonna take a look at the Pachycephalosaurus. First on the list, things to watch out for. First and foremost, it is the bonk attacks, where the Pachy rears up and prepares to headbutt you. If this attack connects, it may leave a fracture depending on how accurate the hit is. Like if it's a leggy hit, often you will simply get away with it without obtaining any fractures at all. But if it does connect to you, you can get 1 out of 3 fractures, and understanding the fractures is pretty important, so let's review them. First of all, a head fracture. This will obscure your vision, give you a tiny peephole to look through, and it can be quite disorientating. Additionally, your bite force will be cut in half. Head fractures are very dangerous, especially in combination with the wounded status, since it also means they hit you on the head with their most powerful attack. It's highly recommended to simply run away with this fracture, as it does not have any effect on your stamina. That said, the damage bounce is unaffected by the wounded status or the head fracture, and you can still kill it with a damage bounce if you land it with more than 50% stamina in the tank. And with no objects to get you off, you're well on the way to winning that. Secondly, we have the body fracture. This fracture is not really a big issue, and it's the best one you can take, it's the best deal possible, as its only real effect is that it amplifies how much stamina you are using for running. You don't lose bite force, you can still alt bite, and you can still bounce, so you can still win the fight if you have this fracture. However, if you do choose to flee, make sure you lose line of sight, as the Pachy will start to outstam you. Now last on the list, we have the deadliest fracture an OMNIRAPTOR can obtain from a Pachy, and it's a leg fracture. This fracture disables your ability to sprint, to pounce, and to use the alt attacks. You can only trot and bite. You're essentially a sitting duck as soon as you obtain this fracture. If you fight a Pachy, it hits your legs, you're done. The chance is incredibly high that you are simply cooked. Now, another thing you guys should know is that there's the Pachy bug, where if it bounces uphill, the bug stays active longer than normal. I'll show you guys a few examples of how the Rex lingers about and how it's really can turn an opening into disaster. Basically, to play around this bug is to wait for the animation of the Pachy to completely finish. So wait roughly a full second before you try to attack or pounce if you see it bonk uphill. Then we get into the kill method. It's pretty straightforward, as the Pachy has a unique weakness to raptors. See, when a raptor pounces a Pachy, the Pachy loses the ability to run or sprint, meaning that it takes a long time to reach any objects, unless you are fighting next to one. And when you land a pounce on it, do a damage pounce like always. The Pachy has 500 HP and you only need 50% of your stamina bar to take it down. The Pachy can still buck you off, but in general you should win the fight if you land a damage pounce. Do remain patient and cautious though, do not suddenly start face stabbing. All it takes is one leg fracture, and then the Pachy can turn the tables on you. Lastly, we get into terrain. Obviously, do not fight them on hills if possible, and I also recommend not fighting them in jungles or near objects, as it's tough to land a damage bounce and the Pachy hitbox is very generous. So you really want to be cautious with it. Dogfighting is possible, but it's simply very dangerous and it demands a lot of skill. I also got a trick for you guys. If you do get knocked over, instead of trying to escape, what I recommend doing is alt biting straight into the Pachy to recover. and then you follow it up with the face kick. You know, you outbite into its face and then you press the pounce key. This deals a considerable amount of damage to the Pachy and can potentially kill it on the spot or allow you to latch on to proceed into a damage bounce. As for the grapple situation, you simply need 2 raptors to pin a Pachy to the floor. And by using the damage bounce, you should have an easy victory. Advice on how to go about it would be to have 1 raptor hang to the side. Normally I advise, you know, mounting the back slot, but on Pachys you want to be on the sides, so the other raptor can latch on the anti-slot on the other side. It's a lot lower chance for a collision to occur, and you should have easy pickings this way. I'll show you guys a few clips of a few matchups, and yeah, that's literally it. Like, Pachy is not that hard.